Well, hello there. I'm Pratyush, and I'm a second year student at the University of Bristol studying physics and maths. And you might be seeing my screen right in front, and you might be wondering, what's Baby Yoda from Star Wars doing all the way in a mathematical graphing paper? What's he doing, like flying out from space to a graphing paper? And to understand that, or let me explain like why he's here. So 2 weeks ago, I set out on a mini project on myself, a mini adventure, like actually like pretty much like Star Wars actually, where I wanted to paint Baby Yoda. And I didn't just want to paint Baby Yoda using traditional tools. I wanted to paint Baby Yoda using some modern tools. And let me tell you, without really telling you, how I painted Baby Yoda. So here's the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the head and the ears, and the collar, dress, and the arms. And you might have guessed by now, I painted Baby Yoda completely using mathematical functions. And all the shapes that you see right here, everything is made completely with mathematics. The eyes, for instance, they're made completely out of functions. These functions, though they look monstrous first, they've got a certain idea behind them. And to understand why Baby Yoda is here in the first place, or why I'm talking about this in the first place, we have to go 3 years before when I started my high school journey. When I started my high school journey, I was fascinated by maths. I really, really loved playing around with variables and seeing how changing variables change things geographically, like geometrically. For instance, learning about limits, or when learning about integration, I really, really like not just wanted to know, I also wanted to see how increasing the number of boxes or the rectangles would approximate the area better and better. Or, for instance, when we were learning physics, where like think about an ambulance that's whizzing by. Do you notice how the sound just like changes from yeah, I not just like wanted to know how that works, I also wanted to see how that works. So I've always been fascinated by animation and simulation, and for the last 3 years I've had a good exposure on that. So from all the experiences that I've had, I really wanted to share all of the things that I learned. So this summer, I've launched a summer program, the ISTA 2024 summer program, Introduction to Scientific and Technological Analysis. And for the next few weeks, we're going to be exploring this kind of thing. We're going to be exploring mathematics in animation, mathematics in simulation, mathematics. What the juicy part, the fun part of mathematics, not just the plug and chug part of mathematics. And we're going to be starting out slow. We're going to be looking at how to make things move. We're going to be starting slowly. Then we're going to be maybe doing a bit more complicated things, like making a heartbeat. And this heartbeat as well, it's made completely out of mathematics. And if we put in a bit more effort, we can do something crazier like this. We can make a guy like wink at us, like a winking face. And actually, this took me like literally 8 hours to make. And although it like took me 8 hours, it was one of the most fruitful, and it was like one of the most enjoyable process that I've ever like had myself. So back to Baby Yoda again. So the Easter program. So if you're someone who really wants to see how maths is used in real life applications, for instance, in making movies, they actually use like these kinds of similar ideas that I showed you today in making animated movies. And yeah, so if you really want to see how maths plays in action in the real world, and if you want to really enjoy with maths, if you really want to get your neurons firing this summer, if you really want to work with a group to create something wonderful, then you're really invited to the program. As a part of the program, we're going to be working together with a group. We're going to be making publications. We're going to be building so many skills, not just mathematical and scientific and intellectual skills, but also networking, also communication, also organizational building skills. So I highly, highly, highly encourage like you to join the program. You don't really need to have like a solid foundation in maths. You just like really need that enthusiasm, or that willingness to develop that spark in your eyes for maths. And I really want to share that with everyone. And it's been my pleasure that I've had the opportunity to do that in the past. I've had the opportunity to teach young students, and I really want to extend this to new more students here in Bristol as well. So I highly recommend you join the program. And before we end, I also like want to make a small comment on the pricing. I talked around a few of my family friends here in Bristol and my colleagues as well, and figured out that a price of £10 an hour is a reasonable price. I looked at the average prices for tutoring. They range about £15 an hour up to £30 an hour for A-level mathematics. But because I really want to do this, and because we're going to be learning in small groups of maybe like 4 or 5 people, I didn't want the price to be that high. And £10 an hour, we're going to be meeting 5 times a week, 1 hour every day. And outside of that, obviously, you'll have to like spend a bit of time learning things. But hopefully, by the end of the program, you really like get to see how math is beautiful. You really get to see why maths is enjoyable, why maths is not just plug and chug and not just formula like memorization thing, but also a fun thing, also something exciting. And obviously, if you have some ideas, if you have anything that you want to share, if you have anything that you want to create in mathematics or in physics, feel free to like drop like comment with your ideas. I'm gonna be like posting an application form for you to like come and join our group. We've already gotten a few students who really enthusiastic to learn about this, and I hope to see like a bigger group so that we can create something really fantastic. So I hope to see you there soon. Thank you very much. Shambho.